I have residue hypochondria. Let's talk about that on the show, about this anxiety thing. That was funny.
How do you mean?
Just anxiety, like I don't trust these. I have anxiety. I'm like,
But how bad is yours? Because you don't.
I had it really bad.
But you
dude.
have like boomer anxiety. Like
Dude,
you don't.
you call me a boomer. I wasn't born in the 1945. Like extra.
No, but your type of anxiety is like.
What do you call me a boomer? Like, what is it? Like, are they even alive anymore? There are no more boomers.
It's just an energy.
You're, like, you're such an Australopithecus. What? No, that's like 700 years ago. I'm not a boomer.
No, I mean your style of anxiety is not. There's a zoomer anxiety. It's just a general sense of complete and utter like stress at.
Sorry, explain to me. Yeah, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's a different style
So-
of anxiety because you have like old school anxiety.
Are we going now?
Yeah.
Welcome to the Russell Hicks Show, everybody. My name is Russell Hicks. Thank you for joining us again. My resident Zoomer, the man behind the dials, Horatio Gould, everybody. You've tuned into this podcast. You want to watch the Boomer Zoomer with the millennial style. You know what? Horatio said I should say that
Yeah, it
again
didn't
because
sound
we should
good.
do a catchphrase.
Didn't
and
sound good.
I'm really regretting that decision. It was
Sounded
ill-conceived the first time I said it,
Yeah.
and it was just embarrassing when I did it the second time.
Yeah.
There's a little glimpse into the future of my career when I'm an aging, fat lounge singer, which apparently, according to Horatio, if you were listening to the beginning, is what he thinks I am already.
They're not fat.
Because we were already right in the middle of a discussion. I didn't know we were recording about how, essentially, I was watching this documentary, if you were watching the last episode we did this week, about Lil Peep. And there was all these kids in it, that are very young, and they constantly talk about their anxiety. Because we were saying there are drugs that define a generation.
Yeah.
So the drug that defined the 60s, LSD, the 80s, I guess, cocaine.
Then ecstasy was the 90s.
Was it, though?
Yeah. Yeah,
Was
there's
it?
rave culture. I be fat.
I did do ecstasy like 3 or 4 times in the 90s.
Yeah, that was ecstasy was the 90s.
By the way, completely wasted the opportunity. I did ecstasy about 3 or 4 times within the span of 2 weeks, okay? Which I don't even think you're supposed to do. You're supposed to like space it out. And I just did it like in my friend's flat.
Oh no, it's not how you do it, man.
No.
You gotta have
No
some
glow
pumping
sticks.
tunes.
It was very like, maybe there was like, yeah, I think maybe we tried to like play something and then maybe somebody had like a nightlight. I don't even know. It was very low.
You need big lights.
Low rent.
You
I
need
should have gone
big
to a
beats.
I don't like crowds though.
Boom, skits, boom,
That's the thing, man.
skits.
If you're gonna do ecstasy, you need to be pretty gregarious. You need to
You're
like
not a crowd guy.
not a crowd guy.
No.
Ecstasy not for me.
Hmm.
That's the thing. I was like, oh, I'll trip.
See, old
roll.
school
What
anxiety.
do you do? You roll when you do ecstasy, right? Roll. That's what we used to call it. Roll, I think. Anyway, you do that, and then I'm like, but I will just stay inside. So okay, ecstasy was the 90s.
I don't know what the noughties was.
But this is what we're trying to figure out.
Still-
What drug defines?
Because the Zannies were the
Millennials.
10s. Millennials, Zoomers are the Zanny generation or any antidepressant.
Oh, Zoomers or Xanax.
Zannies.
Right. So
Pop
here's
and
my
Zans.
thing. So these kids are Zoomers are constantly talking this new generation are constantly talking about their anxiety. And I am sorry, but as somebody who is truly insane, it's a sort of offensive to me that you talk about anxiety because I'm looking at you and I'm like, what anxiety? Like you're on 2% battery and there's no plug socket near you? Like, is that what you're scared about? Because I don't think you know real anxiety, okay? I used to get panic attacks in my early 20s and they were
Ballistic.
insane. Like they were truly like I remember being like driving down the freeway and just having these images in my head like one of these things that I used to think was like what if like I would suddenly just start pondering our existence and then I would start thinking more about how vast space is and time and space and how it's just mad that we're all floating on this planet. And then I would just snap and I'm driving and I'd think what if like a demon just opened up the sky right now and just like stared at me? It would just blow my mind and I would just freak out.
What battery was your phone on?
let me just. So Zoomer, is that what you mean? No, I just mean like my mom's really mean to me. Oh, okay. So then you don't have anxiety. You don't have anxiety. Just checking.
So as a member of the genuinely insane, you're quite offended by people appropriating your culture.
I'm just saying, dude, there's a hierarchy in the anxiety world, and don't even come at me. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like anxiety is like the shard.
You got to understand the culture.
It's like the shard.
Yeah.
And I'm up at the top.
Sure.
I'm up at the top doing yoga.
Are you at the top?
I'm like at the top. Like I'm at the top.
You're near
like
the
King Kong.
top.
Like I'm standing up there, buck naked, screaming.
Because you think a demon's coming from the sky.
Because I'm like about to jump to get away from the demons that are climbing up the shard. So where are you at? Ground floor. That's what I thought.
Lobby.
You're ground floor anxiety. You're in the lobby. You're in the lobby having a latte. I'm at the top naked. I'm about to jump. I just jumped. So, like, you know?
How's your anxiety now?
Well, I've got it under control. I feel pretty good. I mean, recent events haven't been helping. I'm off the news. I don't even watch that. Trying to research this show. I'm going into obscure news sources to try to find quirky stories we could talk about. There's nothing you can get into without, like, having some relation to viruses and all that stuff going on. So, no, I'm good now, and I have been good for a while. I've got it, under control. I don't like to fly. I've still got a few things, like, lingering. But on the whole, I think I'm a pretty chill guy. But it's like, I don't know. It's kind of like, it's like the Hulk. It's always just sort of bubbling under there. But on the whole, I'm chill now. Meditate, all that. But I'm just saying, knowing where I came from, and even back then, I used to have that. When I had anxiety back then, people would be like, "Yeah, I get that." Do you? I could just tell looking at you. You don't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, not to say that there aren't people who do, but okay, I'm going to throw it out there, controversial. Most of the people who talk about mental health, floor 2, in the shard metaphor.
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not. I mean, okay. I'm not going to say. This is the thing you have to understand. This is coming from someone who had to take anxiety meds. I mean, like, you know what I mean? I feel like
what were you popping?
Flintstone vitamins. No,
Sweet.
no. What was I popping? I don't know, man. I didn't really. I got they gave me Ativan once. Valium. That
Sweet.
was sweet.
Sweet.
Kids, if you can.
Yeah, valleys.
Exactly. Don't tell me I'm a boomer when I'm 23 years old, popping Valiums, gobbling them up, dude. Out.
Shit, you're a Zoomer before the Zoomers.
That's what I'm trying to say.
You've got anxiety.
Thank
you're taking
you. I had
antidepressants.
anxiety and I was taking pills for it. And Lil Peep's got a documentary?
Yeah,
what about me?
So you're basically the first Lil Peep, but you
basically.
You're Lil Peep if he didn't kill himself. I'm sorry to be.
Whoa. He didn't kill himself.
Was it who?
There's a conspiracy.
Was it Biggie?
A lot of people think it was Biggie Smalls. A lot of people think Biggie Smalls didn't die. Him, Tupac, and Elvis came together, killed Lil Peep.
Yeah.
But whatevs. Oh, listen to the people on the internet, by the way. That's what you want, isn't it? Those are the kind of conspiracies that work, huh? Shave my head, put an English flag behind me, and just talk about how Biggie Smalls and Tupac killed Lil Peep.
We got to start that beef, man.
We would get so many more subscribers.
Call him out.
We would get so many more subscribers if I looked into the camera and was like, Hillary Clinton killed Lil Peep. She was keeping him in a basement of a pizza parlor because she's got a pedophile ring down there. Infowars.com. Not going to do it, man.
Call him out.
No, but like,
start some beef.
But no, rips to Lil Peep because I liked him. So, that's not where I was going with that. So yes, I was zooming before it was a thing. I'm just saying I don't necessarily. I don't know. Does that sound insensitive? I don't know. I'm just talking here. You were saying though that there is, Zoomer anxiety and boomer anxiety. So explain that because that's what you were going at me for.
Well, it's like
You're saying I have like like what? Like what is a boomer problem? Like taxes?
No, I mean, there's like
It's so true though. That is like
It's not-
generational anxiety.
it's
Like
not-
if you think about the shit your dad was
Yeah,
stressed about,
yeah.
it's like real shit.
So,
Remember
like-
your dad being like, I don't know how we're gonna pay these bills.
Yeah.
And then like me, I'm like super, super enraged and stressed that I couldn't like beat the next level on GoldenEye or something like that.
Yeah. But it's
Alright, so
sort of
what are
that
you
in a
saying?
microcosm. Like boomer anxiety is like men who don't speak to their wife in the evenings and go to a shed and they bottle it up and they sometimes watch football and they're holding a bottle of beer so tightly that sometimes it breaks in their hands, but they'll go to their grave and it'll never come out. That's boomer anxiety. It's there, but it's so deeply taught up with all the twisted emotions. And then zoomer anxiety is everyone's allowed to talk to it. Everyone's told they need to talk about it. If you don't have it, you have less of a currency in the emotional marketplace. So you're constantly searching for your own anxiety. And so that means that you're sort of desperate to have anxiety and you genuinely have anxiety. So you don't know what is fake anxiety, what is real anxiety. Also, late capitalism, image precedes essence, fully automated luxury communism.
Wow, that's interesting. Some of that. It sort of tailed off at the end, but that was it. You had me for a minute there where I see what you're saying and you might have pinpointed it. That's what I'm saying. So everybody talks about it now, which is great.
It's gone too far.
And easy. Everybody talks about it now, which is great. And I certainly always have talked about it because that's just who I am. I mean, go to one of my comedy shows, man. Very often an audience member will come up and speak to me and I will unload on them until they
Leave.
run away, basically. And then to which I will follow them and say, you're not real. You fair weather friend, you don't love me. Very common to see me outside a comedy club in tears screaming at an audience member, you don't really love me.
Oh, Ross, I really like your set. Oh,
Yeah,
really?
Really? Because I was thinking maybe it was just, it wasn't as good as it usually is. Because where are you going? Where are you going? You don't love me. So, but what you're saying,
Yeah.
and this is kind of what I may be perceiving and picking up, is that because it's such almost a currency now to be more open.
Yeah.
There are some people, this is a very controversial statement we're making right now on Russell Hicks' show,
Unroll the American flag.
on RHS.
Let's play the national anthem.
I'm not totally, I'm not sure where we're going on this, because I can feel the alt-right people out there salivating. Yeah. What I'm saying is, listen, how dare you sing my national anthem in that accent? You're saying that there could be people that, like, maybe there's a certain type of Zoomer generation that is reaching for, they almost feel left out. Like, where's my anxiety? Like, so I'm going to maybe not even consciously, but sort of subconsciously inflate what are sort of normal anxieties because it makes me feel more a part of the culture and the tribe and everything.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, my uncle's is a psychiatrist, and he works with Zoomers, specifically age 12 to 18. So he sees this. I speak to him out all the time, and it's like,
Oh, cool. Your uncle talks to you about it.
yeah.
Oh,
I
wow. That's a
genuinely know
really
quite a
great
lot.
sort of patient-doctor privacy that he's
Yeah, he
got.
just tells me their names, where they are. But no, just tells me
Just
about
so
the
you guys know, like, if you're seeing a shrink, this is what they do.
Yeah.
They go out and they tell their nephew
Yeah.
all about your problems.
No, just generally about the cultural trends. He doesn't tell me specifics, obviously.
Okay, yeah. So what? So give us some.
But he's just saying that there's a lot. He has people who are genuinely struggling, but in the NHS, which he works for,
It's like almost fashionable. Like, do you think these kids come out?
No, 'cause
like
it's
these kids
not-
come out with
no,
like
no,
plugs
no,
and they go,
no.
"Where were you?" And they're like, "See my therapist."
it's not. It's not. It's more when you already have a system that has limited funds and you have people who seriously need help. It's quite hard to, when it's emotional pain, to differentiate between who needs it to the point with a stretched system needs to look after it, and people who are going through stuff that could be, I don't know, dealt with in more productive means. You know.
What? What were we saying? I didn't really get that.
Well,
I
it's
kind of
like
see what you're saying, but
with NHS has very limited funds, and he works at the NHS,
right?
so it's quite difficult when there's loads of kids who really need help when there's some who maybe don't need it as much, but it's such a political and dangerous field to try and differentiate between who needs help when it's mental. With physical, it's quite clear who's got a worse issue.
Oh, okay. So it's hard to
and it's super political.
It's hard to weed out the fakers.
Yeah. Well, fakers, it's kind of fakers even problematic.
I mean, that's not it. Well, don't you start using that word. That's a very
word.
Scary word to throw around.
Yeah.
I am not problematic.
You're going to get cancelled.
I am helpful. No, stop it. Please don't cancel me. I just got started. Well, I mean, have me come down. I'll pick them out. I'll tell you right now. Looking at them.
Yeah.
I know my own kind.
Do you see the demons in the sky?
100%. I'll know my own kind. I'll look at them right now.
Lobby anxiety.
I'll go, crazy. Come on. Crazy.
Yeah.
Faking it. Mildly upset. Give that guy, give that one a Nintendo Switch. And that'll be all he needs.
Also, a question for...
I mean, that's probably where I'm at, too. If I'm getting a little tense, a little video game.
A question to you as a member of the insane, as you so self-described. Would you say if you're sad or anxious, but your life is shit, or your life is genuinely sad, or your life genuinely has things to be anxious, are you mental or are you just reacting reasonably to circumstance?
Okay.
Because look, if you've just got a really anxious life,
I see what you're saying.
If you've got people shooting,
for someone who calls me a boomer, that was a very late 60s beat poet way to put it. I mean, is being insane the sanest way to react to an insane world? You know what I mean? Are you insane or are you just so sane?
So sane.
So sane.
So sane. I'm not
yeah,
insane.
but no.
I'm so
listen,
sane.
let me. We're making fun here, but let's just okay. I've come out of it. I'm an adult now. I'm a happy guy. It's all good now. I'm not at the top of the chart. We're really talking about yes, there are really massive. I was never as there are ailments out there, and it's a good thing we're talking about it. But yeah, yeah, certainly, man. I think that if you look, I don't know what's really going around. Stop watching the news and just hang out with your friends. That's what I think, man. Judge your surroundings, right? It's this would be a good time to put that clip in. What I was talking about. Remember, we were gonna do the stand-up clip when I was talking last night about
what are you talking about?
People on social media. Dude, they panic about stuff. People.
All right.
Because
introduce the stand-up clip.
Huh?
Introduce the stand-up clip now.
All right. This how apropos.
Give the context of the.
Well, I've noticed that when I don't go on, I'm not on social media. Well, I am though. Yeah. How do we start saying this to where I'm kind of, but you're a lot of it? You know what I mean? I don't know how. But listen,
last night you did a gig. Here's a clip.
Last night I did a gig.
Here's a clip of me talking about
and
this
it's sort of about this issue we're discussing right now. Let's go to the clip. I love technology. You know what I mean? I love getting into it. I just don't find certain things as intriguing. So I'll stay away from being on social media all day or anything like that. Living in the world, you know what I mean, Ems? Just being free. And what's interesting is that if you're not on it, you can still tell what kind of apps people are using, you know? People on Twitter, always angry. I've noticed this. Furious all the time. You know what I mean? They just have this, I'll be in the green room and a comedian will come in. Livid. I'm like, dude, what is the matter? Some guy told me the other day, he's like, what do you think of everybody getting mad that oat milk isn't real milk? I'm like, they're not. That's not a real thing happening in the world. I wasn't walking down the street and somebody busted out of a Tesco this is bullshit. Someone grabbed me by the lapels. They're feeding us oats, man. They're feeding us fucking oats. Not a thing happening. Look, I'll be honest, you guys are just lucky I'm here, okay? I am a white male. Do you have any idea how much money I could be making being racist on YouTube right now? Oh, yeah. Oh, that's what they're all doing. Isn't that right, Danny? They're all out. Not you, Danny. Oh, you guys don't know Danny? Yeah, he's one of the most famous racists online. You see what I mean? Sometimes you have to let someone else say it rather than you. And that other person was me. You know what I mean? It's kind of like how To be insane is really the sanest thing you can be
So sane.
in an insane world. So sane. Russell Hicks. Russell Hicks Show. So sane. So sane, it's insane.
That's like a good trap name. You found
So-
your trap name. So
Oh,
sane.
there's my trap name.
So
So
sane.
sane. So sane, it's insane.
Lil So Sane.
Little so sane. Done. See you later. Thanks for listening to the last episode because I'm going to be a trap star now.
Oh, you
So
heard Lil
sane.
So Sane?
Have you heard Lil So-Sane? Dude, have you heard the beat Lil So-Sane? He's sick, dude.
Dude, he's
Oh, that's my
properly
first album.
insane.
Sick. Lil So-Sane, sick.
He's been propping Valley
Album
since
cover.
the 90s.
Me on top of the shard, buck naked.
Lil So Sane.
Lil So-Sane,
Popping
sick.
Valley since the 90s.
Yo, poppin' Valley since the 90s. And you kids are telling me that you got anxiety. Wow, if there was any question if I was from the 90s, that rap proved it right
Yeah.
there. Cool.
A hip hop. A
Yeah.
hip it. A hip it to the hip hobby.
Like late 80s Fresh Prince just went like, that's a bit cheesy.
But now it's like Molly Perk. Hey, Molly Perk. Hey.
Straight up, dude, Poppin' Valley's like
Yeah.
in the 90s. Like for
Poppin'
real.
Valley's in
Do you
the
want to know
90s.
why? Do you want to know
That's
why
the
I got
first
put on-
album.
Do you want to know why I got? Do you guys want to?
Is this real talk? Wait, is this
This
real
is like
talk?
real talk. Do you want to know why I got put on volume?
Wait, can you introduce real talk? We're going to get the jingle in.
Welcome to a new segment of the show that I like to call Real Talk. Let's get real. Real Talk. No copyright that there's a HBO show called Real Time. Oh, this is Real Talk.
Choose your
Nice.
camera.
Welcome to Real Talk with So-Sane. So-Sane. What was my name again? Sammy Sosa.
Lil So Sane.
Welcome to Real Talk with Sammy Sosa.
Lil So Sane.
Let me tell you why I was on Valium. I got put on Valium when I was 16 or 17. Let me take you back to the year 2000. This is pre 9/11. America was arrogant.
Never forget.
We thought nobody could touch us. It was a different time. Things were good. And I was a young little rapscallion who was drinking, taking pills. Sound familiar? You kids think you invented that? I was doing it before you were here in this world. And I had anxiety. Where did that anxiety come from? I'll tell you. I'll tell you where my anxiety really started to kick off. If you smoked weed, it was like, these were my goals, by the way, as a young child. I was like, I'm going to smoke weed for like a year. Then I'm going to start doing shrooms. Then I'm going to get into acid. These were like genuine. We would like, me and my friends would like talk about this. Like, yeah, dude. And then we're going to like move into, I'm not ready for acid yet. Like we would talk about it the way most other people would talk about like getting into a prestigious university or something. Be like, yeah, and then I'm going to do acid. So I was never ready for acid because I thought it's just too intense for me. So I did shrooms, great, ecstasy. So the next step was, did you ever hear about that thing where you drink 2 bottles of cough syrup? You take 2 bottles of, you
So
drink
like sip and lean.
like DXM, like you,
The rappers.
like you drink, like they
Yeah,
talk
it's
about
called
it.
sip and lean. Sip and lean.
Sip and lean.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I was sipping lean in like 2000, dude.
Yeah. You're a trapper.
Yeah, dude.
Lil
That's what I'm
So-Sane.
telling you.
Poppin' Valley,
so
sip and
cool.
lean.
Poppin' Valley, sipping lean, freaking decked out of my eyes, Lil So-Sane. Straight up. Like, fucking hell. I was like, who's out in the corner? Some dude named 2 Chainz. Fuck, I don't know.
Waka
Oh,
Waka
did
fan,
I tell
baby.
you? I lived in Atlanta.
Did
I was
you?
living it. No.
I could just maybe.
I just love the idea that I'm like, I was just around the beginning of the trap scene. I didn't even know.
Remember, you're still doing real talk, so no riffing. It's a riff-free zone. It's just real talk.
Sorry, guys.
Back to the segment. Keep the structural integrity. Of the
No,
show.
but come on, that's fun. Can we pitch that as a series? Like I'm just like existing. I didn't even know. I was like, I just love the idea that I'm like this kid in Atlanta, and I had no idea I was like amidst the beginning of the trap scene. Oh yeah, they were always like going into the studio. What? Like what? Yeah, fucking I don't know. What, Waka Flocka? Yeah. Oh, what happened to him? What do you mean what happened? He's like huge. I don't know. Anyway, so I was just like sipping lean. I don't know. Anyway, dude, I'm 16 years old. I'm sipping lean. And like, I just did it in this apartment. The same apartment, by the way, that I did the ecstasy in. There was just a weird period of my life where I just hung out in this one kid's apartment. And I drank these 2 bottles. And as soon as I drank the second bottle, the guy goes, the shaman, this like kid who was always wearing sweatpants. He was like this weird kid who had come in from another school. He was like, did you just drink 2 of those? I was like, yeah. He's like, you're supposed to drink 1. Cool. I just double dosed it, sipping lean. So now I start tripping. I don't know if you've ever sipped lean, but it's like you're like
Never sipped lean.
it's mental. And so
Fun mental?
no,
No.
it was horrendous. I couldn't stand it. So it lasted like, but it's 3 days. So like the second,
Fuck.
yeah, dude. So there's the second day. I'm like, I still can't sleep. I'm like, this is a bit of a problem. And yeah, and I remember there's no really cool way to say this, but I remember I smoked a joint with someone, and then it made it worse. And I was like, oh my God, now I'm really, that's when I realized this isn't going to go away. Because I thought I was on the way down after 24 hours. And I smoked a joint, and then it went back up again. I was like, oh, shit. And then the second day, and then finally my mom was like, what is going on? I was like, okay. I told her I came clean. It was like late at night, and she was like, oh my God.
My boy sipping lean.
She's like, oh, my boy's sipping lean again. And she's like, damn you, little So-Sane. I was like, Mama. Anyway, I knew she was mad because she called me by my trap name. She started yelling at me, little So-Sane. I was like,
Oh shit.
I done fucked up big time now, dude. 2 Chainz like left my. I was like, 2 Chainz, where? 2 Chainz,
Waka.
gone, dude. Waka. Walker's like, not when Mrs. Hicks is angry, dude.
Lil Hicksy.
Peace. I was like, damn. They both went off and made best-selling albums that night. That's why I'm not mentioned in the beginning of Trap.
Yeah.
So like my mom is my parents are Christian Scientists. We don't need to go into that. This is like they don't believe in medicine and all that stuff. And so we really weren't equipped for this, right? So long story short, she goes across the street and she gets, okay, I don't know how to explain this. My mother thought that the best way for this substance to leave my body, the only thing we could think of was that I shit it out. So she gets anal suppositories from one of her older friends. This is my mother. She comes back and she says, I've got an idea. What? These will make you shit, and this will cleanse your body, and this lean will be out of your system. Cool. So 16 years old, I go into the toilet while my mom is on the outside. I stick anal suppositories into my ass and then have like the most, which is itself an incredible experience. I mean, it's just like, I'm still tripping out, by the way. I'm tripping.
Yeah.
And my mom's outside, and I'm shoving things in my ass. I'm sticking a bullet in my ass while I'm high and hallucinating, and my mom's outside going, how's it going? How is it? I mean, I don't know if you've ever had anything in your ass, but have you also had it in your ass while your mother is talking to you? Because I have.
Oh, no.
So you have anxiety. Cool. Oh, you have anxiety. Because I've got my index finger in my asshole while my mom asks me how it's going. And then I just completely exploded, like I totally shit, like it was crazy, right? And after this just like soul draining shit, because they were powerful. I'm still high, of course, because like, what are we thinking? This is like flat Earth theory. What, you're gonna shit it out? Anyway, then the next day, took me to the doctor's office, and the doctor was like, yep. He had like seen this before. He's like, yeah, dude's sipping lean. His word. Didn't make sense at the time. I was like, what? Doctor had like a grill. It was Atlanta. I think it was Flocka.
He was like, Versace.
I think Flocka just like put on a doctor's outfit. He was like, I got you, dog. And I was like,
Waka?
Waka? He's like,
Mr. Flocka Flame?
he's like, yeah, your boy been sipping lean. And dude gave me the most powerful Valiums like ever. Cause like, dude, I hadn't slept for like 3 days, and I would take these Valiums and just like, it was so crazy. It was like, take it. I wonder if this is gonna wake up 8 hours later. And like when I would wake up, I'd just be hallucinating really hard. Like, so the next 2 days of my life was literally this. I would take a Valium, pass out, wake up hallucinating, pop another one really fast, go back out. And then eventually I woke up and it was gone. And that was the Valium story. And then, but the good thing about that was that I actually was doing a lot of drugs up to that point. And then I stopped doing drugs after that. I never did drugs again. So that's why I don't do any. A lot of people, what are you doing? Welcome to Lil So-Sane cam. Do the So-Sane cam. Are we? What are you? What are we like done now? What?
No, it's still going.
Okay. What is that angle? What is that?
It's just.
Have you seen my
it's
teeth?
it's getting realer.
Oh,
The
okay.
talk's getting
All right,
realer.
all right. Yeah. Zoom in. And I don't do drugs anymore. So
'Cause
that
you
actually
are not
what
alone.
I thought was you know, a hard incident in my life, it actually turned out to be is what saved me. So no more drugs after that, and you know, a bit of anxiety, you know, between probably 17 to around 25, little residue from that. I was quite shooken up. So yeah, I'm just saying, the NHS has limited resources. So before you go there and say that you have anxiety, maybe ask yourself, when's the last time you were shoving an anal suppository into your asshole while your mom stood outside and asked you if you were okay? You know what I mean? Think about that, man. This has been Lil So-Sane filling in for Russell Hicks on the Russell Hicks Show. Keep it trap. The Boomer Zoomer with the millennial style.